She's trying to reach her son again. She's trying to get that dynamic back because she knows that it's shifted, that relationship isn't as rock solid as it was before.
The end of season 1 left us with multiple cliffhangers, making the stakes even higher. What do you think your character has to prove this season?
I think actually Kanan is more so in a space of trying to figure out who he is in order to be able to, prove who he is type thing. There's so much that's kind of shifted and changed for him, especially over the last couple episodes of the season. But you see him kind of grappling with that in the second season. Is really just trying to figure out who am I that I would even be able to, move forward and do any of these things. So he's asking questions. He's seeking answers in places that he wasn't getting them before.
This season is definitely an uphill battle for Unique. He lost it all, falsely accused of attempting to murder a police officer. You know what I mean? And even when he get out, it's like, how you got out? You know what I mean? It's like, then that's a whole nother battle. People think you snitching or something like that.
For Howard, he has to, in a narcissistic way, prove he's still that dude. He's still running stuff in the department. He's still running stuff on the streets. And I guess he's trying to prove or figure out, like, is this kid his biological son? Like, is that real?
I think for Detective Shannon, she's still trying to prove herself and in this role and have people take her seriously. She kind of gets an idea that some things might not be totally true in her surroundings. And so she starts questioning it and she digs her heels in because she's determined to still prove herself and prove that she is right.
To himself, mostly, that he can stand on his own too. He has to prove to Rock that he can run a business and handle their business. But mostly to himself that he can do this. Mm-hmm. That's the biggest thing, is like, can I stand it? Can I do it? And I think he finds it more difficult than he thought it would be. But I think he also discovers his wherewithal through the process.
I think Juke has a lot to prove. I think that season 1, she really kind of let life happen to her and she let it affect her. And with season 2, it's like, all right, put your big girl panties on. Let's figure it out. And I think she starts to figure it out.
She's very much, I remember saying to Sasha, like, I feel like my character's all over the place. And really she is, because she's putting out fires left and right, she's constantly solving problems, solving issues while still trying to feel the temperature of Kanan and sort of assess the threat of Howard. And so what that all means for her world. And so she's in a very, she's in a place where, like, she can't really sit back and just chill the way that we think she might. The stakes are just a little higher and she has to work a little harder.
I've been asking all of the actors, what do they feel like their character has to prove? But I want to know, from your perspective, what character do you believe has the most to prove this season?
What character has the most to prove? Great question. I think to a certain extent, probably Kanan. Because I think what's starting to happen with Kanan is he's starting to separate from his mother. And I think he's starting to realize things about his mother and come to realizations about himself along the way that are difficult realizations for him to have.